For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I shall know even as I am known. 1 Corinthians 13:12. Has there ever been a time like this? The current pandemic? A time when such a plethora of opinions, so-called facts claiming to be truth, abound in the public domain, on official government proclamations, on national and international news, on social media platforms of every kind, secular and sacred. Conspiracy theories have abounded, and even declarations denouncing conspiracy theories in favour of declaration of so-called truth. Such is the determination of some to be right and to be seen or proved right in the sight of the populace. There have even been those who have claimed to be declaring the mind of God, or what God says through the Holy Scriptures. They also have joined the throng in producing the resultant melee of confusion. All would claim to be well-meaning, no doubt. All would claim to speak the truth and desire nothing but the best. When at last the tumult of human voices have died down, only one thing remains. That is truth. But what is truth? Firstly, we have to ask the right question. The question is not what is truth, but who is truth. The Bible poses the question, why do the nations rage and the people imagine a vain thing? It continues to say that those in authority take counsel together just as they have been doing. The reason is that they want to cut out God, to cut him out of the equation, make him irrelevant or even non-existent, so that they themselves can rise up and be God. Perhaps only God over their little kingdom, God nevertheless. It seems to me that they have done a pretty good job. What does God do while the nations rage against him? He laughs. How outrageous to laugh when the whole world suffers. He does not laugh at the suffering or the pain. Indeed, those of us who get to know him see that he grieves over his creation. He laughs at those who think they can plan the future of mankind using knowledge and science. It is quite obvious that the future of man and society will fail when men take charge. Those who proclaim that we live in an autonomous society are the very people who, when one expresses one's own views or opinions, quickly switch from autonomy to heteronomy, because one is allowed a view or an opinion providing it is not at odds with the so-called autonomist. Rights and free speech do not really exist, because the rights of one group are at odds with others. Free speech is gagged by political correctness. We, that is to say man, are selfish and corrupt. We can never produce utopia, which brings us back to truth. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. A friend of mine told me recently that he had come to the conclusion that everything outside of Christ is a lie. That means that when what man has built crumbles into the dust, as it surely must one day, Christ will be left and will come to pick up the pieces, bringing order and divine rule with him. Without exception, every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that he is Lord of all. You remember at school when they picked the teams and the chosen talented leaders said to one another, my last choice is Joe Bloggs, and you can have the rest. That was me. one of the rest. I'm so privileged to be able to say that although I am a nobody and I haven't particularly achieved much by the world's standards, I can rejoice to know on the day that the King returns to earth, at last, I will be on the winning team.